Hello, you're welcome back. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make this lovely Zara cap displayed on your screen. It's a very simple and easy tutorial. Please screen grab the material showing on the screen so that when you want to do it, you don't lose sight of it. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to take my Mako and then cut out the length I want. I'm going to be measuring length 18 and then I'll cut that out. Then please do note that the head circumference is usually the standard head circumference is 23. So this 18 I'm going to be cutting out. I'm going to be adding elastic. Now the elastic is going to make up the remaining part of the cap so that you can fit into your head properly. Then for my width, I'm going to be using 2.5 because I don't want it to be too high. It's for me, I think it's finer when when the spacing is just small and then it fits on your head. So I'm using 2.5 for my width, and my length I said 18. You can actually use 17, but for this tutorial I'm going to be using 18. Okay, so just watch and practice. Alright, I'm going to use my metal ruler to connect the lines, the dots together, so that it's easy for me to cut out. Please always use a ruler so that you have a straight line and then it's easy for you to cut out. Alright, so I've gotten that. I've gotten this. The next part is to pick up my fabric and then go ahead and cut out the part I need. So for my fabric, I'll be measuring on fold. I'll be measuring 26. Like I said, the head circumference is 23. Now I'm measuring 26, and that includes my sewing allowance. And also, since I'll be using an elastic, I need it to have some space for it to be able to expand, and that's the reason why I'm using 26. So you can do 26 or 27, and that should include your sewing allowance. But 26 is perfect. You will get exactly what you want. Okay, so I'm doing 26. On fold is 13. Please watch carefully. On fold that was 13. Then for my height, or should I call it for the height. Okay, I'm going to be using 18. So we are doing 26 by 18. 26 by 18. Please don't forget 26 by 18. So I'm going to just mark that out, and then like I did before, use my metal rule to connect them together so I can have a clean cut. Alright, so after getting the fabric I need, I'm going to fold that into two and then get my midpoint. I want to know where the center of the fabric is, so I'm going to just make a mark there, and also make a small mark. You're not cutting the mark into two, just make a small mark on the mark, so that when you place it on your hairband, so it can be aligned. It's not overlapping or underlapping. It can be aligned. Alright, so I'm going to just place the marker there and then try to get where it begins, like the one end to the other. I'll just mark that out. Then I'll also go ahead to add like about 0.5 inch because I want to sew it. So I'm going to be adding 0.5 inch to what I had before, to the marker height. Remember, the marker height is 2.5. So I'm going to be adding a 0.5 so I can use that to sew. Then I'll go to the machine, and then from where it begins, from where I marked, I'll just run it through. You can actually start from the end of the fabric. You can actually start. If I start on the end of the fabric, I should have done that so that place is closed. Okay, but just watch. You go ahead and match and sew that using your 0.5 to sew. So you go ahead and just sew that neatly. Okay, so when that is done, I'm going to take the mako and kind of fold it into two, like fold it a little bit so I can easily pass it. Now when you pass the fabric, I want where I sew to be at the middle of the the mako. I'm not please watch. If you notice, I'm not putting it edge to edge. I bent it so I can pass it in a way where the part I sewed can be at the center of the mako. I don't know if you get, but I don't want the sewing to show on top or under. I just want it to be at the middle of the mako. So I'll just go ahead and gradually pass my mako into it. Like I said, bend it so that it can be easy to pass through. It can easily pass through rather. Then fold the tip, fold the beginning of the mako so that it can easily pass through. Alright, so when that is done, I want to go ahead and make hemming stitch or to tack so that I can cover up the place where I sewed. I don't want that to show, so I'm going to fold it that way first, starting with this down part. I'm going to fold it in and then use my needle and thread. I'm just going to do simple hemming stitch. If you don't know how to do a hemming stitch, just watch. You knot your thread, and then attach it to the fabric so I can hide the knots, and then you pass it in the way I'm doing, and then at that same spot you use your needle to pick up the other part, like the second part of the fabric that you want to tack on. Okay, I don't know if this is clear enough, but on that same spot where you tied, you pick down, you go ahead and then pick up the fabric that is underneath it. You will do that again, and then when you've successfully done that, you are going to now pass your needle into the fabric that is directly on the mako, not the one they are folding on, the one that is directly on the mako. See what I'm doing? Okay, that material that is directly on the mako, I will now pass my thread there and then give it a little space, bring out my needle somewhere, and then repeat the pattern again. Pick out the needle there and repeat the pattern again. I'm just going to bring it out and go ahead to pick up the material that I'm tacking, and then allow the needle to come out at the other material that is directly on the mako. I don't know if you get some. That means I'm picking up two materials, like the two materials at the same time. That's the one I'm trying to tack, and then the one directly on the mako. So I'll repeat the process again. When I do that, it's firmly tight. It's firmly secured rather. I'll go ahead again to pass my needle into the fabric that is directly on the mako. Pass my needle at that same spot. I don't know. I just really hope that not do hemming stitch. I'm just doing this explanation just in case you are not familiar with hemming stitch. Okay, so I'll bring out my needle again and then just go ahead and repeat the process. Okay, so when I get to the end of the marco, rather to the end of where I sewed, I'm just going to go ahead and do the last stitch there and then tie. I'll tie by passing the thread direct, maybe 2 or 3 times on my needle, tie, and then I'll cut that out. I'm done with the first hemming. Okay, so when that is done, I'll be repeating the same thing for the other parts. Right, so the reason why I'm doing this, like I said, my intention is to ensure that the part where we sewed is neatly covered, neatly sewn in and is hidden. All right, so just go ahead and repeat the hemming stitch that we did before for the base. Repeat the hemming stitch again for this other parts. Okay, so I'm done with that. For my elastic, I'm going to be using 2.5, like for the two sides, 2.5 here, 2.5 here, and this includes my sewing allowance. Elastic gets to expand better when it's not so long, right? Because my marco length, I said I used 18, so 2 is going to be 4 plus 18, that's about 22. So when it expands, that makes it 23, which means it's going to fit my head perfectly. Okay, so I'm going to take this to my machine to sew. I'll be attaching the elastic to the downside of the cap, like the base. Normally when you cap on your head, the base of it. So I'm just going to sew that and lock that in, and then extend it, like drag the elastic so that I can also lock the other edge. Kindly watch what I'm doing. So just drag the elastic out, and then when you get to the tip of the fabric, you just go ahead and sew that down, lock that in. It gives it this slight gathers. Alright, so I'll be doing the same thing for both sides, and when that is done, I'll go ahead and then join the two edges, like the two tip together. Now this means the front will be facing like front to front, and then the back is where I'll be attaching my pin, so I can easily hold it down and sew. Okay, just go ahead now and place them tip to tip, and use your pin, office pin, to hold that down so that it doesn't move. And I'll take my ruler, and then I'm going to mark 4 inches in. I'm going to mark in 4 inches in. Then with my chalk, I'm just going to be making a curve. I'm just going to be making a curve like this, and then I'll cut that out. Take it to my sewing machine, and then run a straight stitch from the tip of the cap where I had that curve down to where I have my elastic meeting. So I'm just going to quickly sew that, come back. Alright, so when you have successfully done this stitch, when you have successfully sewn it, I'm going to we're almost done with the cap actually. So the next step, I'm going to be using my needle and thread to do gathers. For the benefit of someone who doesn't know how to do gathers, please just watch. I'll tie the edge of my thread, then with my needle I will just go ahead and pick it the way I'm doing, in out, like you're leaving a space, in out, in out. You can actually do gathers with your machine, but I prefer to show with hand needle, because I think for beginners it's a whole lot easier to use your hand needle than using your machine. Okay, so when you get to the edge where you have your elastic, you just go ahead and tie. But before you tie, make sure you pull that gather properly, like pull it tightly, so that you don't have it still spiking up or bulging out. You go ahead and just pull it tightly together and then tie, and then your Zara cap is ready. Okay, in a separate video, I'll be showing you the final result of this. I'll be showing you also how to add fancy, or add something to it, so that it doesn't just look basic. But this is how to make a Zara cap, and you too can also come up with creative ideas, add an applique. That's it. Bye.